All right, everybody, I am back with a brand new DC update. And this is going to be a jam-packed update, all because of the stuff that has happened over the weekend and leading up to this update. And it's really funny because James Gunn had made this funny comment that I'm going to show you the photo for in a little bit. And then all of a sudden confirms something that totally contradicts what he said in this update. It's kind of funny. I just can't laugh. All I can do is laugh at this stuff anymore. It's gotten to the point of being absolutely comical. It's you can't take the guy seriously. You just can't. You can't believe anything he says, anything he does. You just gotta. It's who he is. Okay, it's just who he is. But let's take a look at some of the stuff that I've grabbed. There have been some more confirmation on. There's been more confirmation on some of the characters and casting for Superman Legacy, and there's also some rumblings of who they might cast as Batman. And on that note, well, we're going to talk about that. I just got done watching Reacher episode 1, which is on Prime, and holy freaking crap was that pretty awesome. I'm going to go watch some more as soon as I get done with my update here. But this is interesting. Let's dive into some of this stuff. All right, so the first thing I wanted to show here were the confirmed castings for Superman Legacy. It's quite a list. You've got Superman, Supergirl, Lois Lane, Lex Luthor, Mr. Terrific, Green Lantern in the form of Guy Gardner. You've got Hawkgirl, Metamorpho, Jack Hawksmoor, which is rumored, the Doctor, which is rumored, the Engineer, Jimmy Olsen, Steve Lombard, Perry White, Pa Kent, Ma Kent, Jor-El, and Eve Tessmacher. And we're going to talk a little bit about the Jor-El casting today in part of this update. But that's quite a list so far. And there's obviously more being added all the time. And we're going to be looking at some of that today. Now, the next photo I have here, and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago when all of this stuff, has been going. Basically when I revealed the stock prices for Warner Brothers and how they've hit around $10. And I talked about, because of what they did with the whole Acme and Looney Tunes cartoon that they're now shopping around, that this was going to keep people from wanting to work with Warner Brothers, and that they're, because of all the rumblings out there, that they are probably going to be sold next year. I'm not making this up. This is stuff that is being reported by people in the industry and people outside the industry. Like, this is a thing that is a real possibility. And this is according to Deadline. Filmmaker is not moving forward with their project at Warner Brothers Discovery until the company is sold. One filmmaker told me recently, "We have a project over at Warner's in development. We're so not pursuing active development until the studio is sold. God knows what will happen to projects in development." And this has to do with the Coyote versus Acme movie. I told you guys, I am a voice actor, and if Warner Brothers came to me today and offered me a role in one of the movies or a video game project that was tied to Warner Brothers, I would turn it down in a heartbeat, because you don't know what's going to happen with your work. There's no guarantees. This is who they are. People have lost trust in Warner Brothers, and it's really sad, because Warner Brothers was a great company at one point. They were a great company. You go back 5 years and prior to that, this company was a great company. And things just went to crap. And it's really sad. And I'd actually have to say go back 10 years ago, because the excitement when they announced that they were going to be redoing the DC Universe and they were doing a new Superman movie, I've never been so excited looking at Warner Brothers' future. And then to see what they've done since, it's mind-boggling, the people that are making these decisions down there. And this is a result of that. And they're going to have a hard time finding people who want to work with them because of this. And this may be why James Gunn is using his brother in so many different roles. So this is another casting bit that came out in regards to Superman Legacy. It says Miriam Shore has been cast as the head of the CIA in Superman Legacy. So this one has been confirmed as well. Well, I wouldn't say has been confirmed. It comes from Daniel RPK. There is one that has been confirmed by James Gunn, and he did make a statement about casting, and we're going to talk about that here in a minute. Now, I think this is pretty cool right here. For me, Superman the movie, I love that movie. Superman 2 was the movie that I love that movie as a child, and those two films are just amazing. And it says a new documentary entitled Superman, the Christopher Reeve story, will premiere at the 2024 Sundance Film Festival, which takes place January 18th through the 28th in Park City in Salt Lake City, Utah. Moving backward and forward in time, filmmakers Ian Bonhote, I don't know how you say his name, and Peter Edegui expertly weave together a dual narrative exploring the life-changing impact of two pivotal moments in Christopher Reeve's career: being cast in 1978 Superman and becoming paralyzed in 1995. So there's going to be a full documentary on the Christopher Reeve coming out, and I will be definitely checking this out when it becomes available for streaming. Now, this is something I grabbed that I thought was really funny because, people may laugh at this photo of James Gunn's wife as Wonder Woman, but I'm telling you, this is a real possibility. I'm not joking. The ridiculousness of the casting and the decisions down there, this could actually happen. And that's why you look at this stuff as a joke, but it's what Warner Brothers is. Now, this is the most ridiculous thing that I saw come out. It says Grace Randolph has been cast as Cat Grant, the gossip columnist at the Daily Planet in Superman Legacy. Now, this has not been confirmed yet either. And again, we're going to look at this comment by James Gunn here in a few minutes. But if this actually happens, she is one of the most unlikable people on YouTube. I used to watch her, and then she just became, she's very anti-man, first of all. She's anti-man, and she's very condescending, and people come to her with information, and I don't understand why they go to her. And it looks like she just lives in her little loft there in New York and makes videos and is very popular, and I just don't understand why. She actually banned me because I called her out on some of her BS that she's put out there, and not even in a rude way. I just told her she needs to look at what she's doing. Okay, this is going to go along with something I'm going to talk about in regards to James Gunn here in a minute in regards to casting. But this comes from DCU Updates. It says Kurt Russell is now listed as Jor-El on IMDb Pro. This is the first time I've seen a cast member added to the page without an announcement of some kind. This will be the true test for IMDb Pro's validity. And it will be, because of something we're going to look at here in a second. So this here has me excited. So Alan Ritchson is the guy who plays Reacher, and that's what I told you guys I was watching before I came to do this update. And I was really, really impressed with that first episode, so I will be watching the whole show. But it says Alan Ritchson as the next Batman. Don't be surprised if it happens, because he has a major supporter in his corner. Link in the comments. So I clicked the article, and it had to do with a close tie to Kevin Smith. And supposedly this could be something that is happening behind the scenes. Now, I'm really upset with Ben Affleck not coming back, and it's clear it's not going to happen while Warner Brothers has it. And if they are going to move forward and we actually get to the stage where they make a Batman movie, I'm okay with Alan Ritchson becoming Batman. I've seen him in Smallville. I saw him in Titans. And every time I saw him on screen, I thought, wow, he would make a great Bruce Wayne. He's got the build and the look, and I think he could actually pull it off. Especially after seeing Reacher, he definitely could pull it off with the right director. And so this isn't something I would be totally opposed to. Now, this is a little bit, it has to do with Rebel Moon. I had somebody in one of my comments, I had to block them on Twitter because they were revealing spoilers in my DC threads for Rebel Moon. And it says, idiot DC fans spoiling Rebel Moon like we can't spoil DC projects. So just wait for Superman Legacy. So this person is basically saying, because of what some of these people are doing to us Zack Snyder fans, then when Superman Legacy comes out and things get spoiled, that they're going to post it on there. And our movie news came out and said, firstly, if they spoil movies for others, they aren't fans. They're just dicks. And he's true. That's very true. I totally agree with that. And secondly, if you decide to spoil something for DC fans just because a few self-proclaimed fans did it to you, then you're not better than the idiots doing it in the first place. We got to be better. And I totally agree. If I'm ever going to post something about spoilers, I'll let you guys know. And that way, I would never go on like Twitter and post spoilers like that. I think that is absolutely ridiculous. So here comes James Gunn. He says, this is the thing I've been talking about throughout the video. James Gunn says that the rumor mill has been insane and profoundly misinformed lately. He also says Kurt Russell as Jor-El was never discussed. Don't trust anything that doesn't come from me, which is funny. So he's saying the buck stops with him, right? But then this next thing happens. James Gunn has finally confirmed Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. Well, what's funny about that is this was discussed several weeks ago that he was getting cast as Lex Luthor. And he's saying don't believe the rumors, that they're not true? Well, obviously stuff is getting leaked from DC. He says, yes, finally I can answer. Nicholas Hoult is Lex Luthor in Superman Legacy, and I couldn't be happier. We went out to dinner last night to celebrate and discuss how we can create a Lex that will be different from anything you've seen before, and we'll never forget. But James, we heard this weeks ago. Why didn't you tell us it was true? Because although we were discussing it, it wasn't final until a couple of days ago, and I don't want to tell you all something that isn't certain. Yeah, well, that doesn't mean we can't believe the rumors that are out there, because this is him trying to skirt around the issue of don't believe everything but the buck stops with me. I don't necessarily believe that it was just finalized a couple of days ago. There was so much chatter about this, I figured this was a definitive thing. And I think it is with a lot of stuff, but he wants to act like he's the top dog, but he's not. There are so many leaks coming out of his studio and so many different things. He's making it look like just a clown show down there. That's what it's become. So again, James Gunn says Lex Luthor will be different from anything you've seen before. Now, this was something else that hit all over Twitter today, and I actually watched the video for this, but Zachary Levi came out and comments on Momoa and Sean, he's talking about Sean Gunn, getting other roles in the DCU. This was a quote that came directly from Zachary Levi, and I watched the video, and I'll talk about it here in a second. He said, but when you're the brother of the guy who runs DC, I guess you get to play who you want. Now, I wanted to actually see if this was taken out of context, and it was, and it wasn't at the same time. I actually watched the video, and people were asking him about, specifically what's going on with the DCU, and he had made this comment almost as a playful comment. I don't know if you could take it seriously, but at the same time, it could be him kind of showing his frustrations about everything that's happened. And he's done this on both sides of the fence with DC. And it's kind of interesting because he sucked up to Gunn pretty good. And he talked bad about the DCEU, and this is where it's gotten him. So he probably has no future. This is basically going to blow up any bridge that he had with DC at all. So I don't think we're going to be seeing Zachary Levi again, period, in the DCU. All right, guys, so there we have it. All of the DC news that has basically come out since I did my last update on Friday. I did one update yesterday, if you guys missed it, all in regards to James Gunn hiring Sean Gunn to play Maxwell Lord, and just how bizarre that is based off of statements he's made in the past. And it's true. I actually show you guys proof of what he said and what he's actually doing. And I think he's, like I said, I think he's turned DC into, just DC Studios into, it's a clown show down there. You can't trust anything that's coming out, and he really needs to just get off of social media. He does. He really shouldn't be out there saying stuff anymore. He's digging himself a hole, making him look pretty untruthful. And he's just digging himself a bigger hole, which does, in turn, hurt Warner Brothers. All right, guys, so there's my update for the day. Warner Brothers is still on fire. They are sinking. They are expected to be sold at some point next year. and it's going to make all of what's happening now completely pointless. So we'll see what happens, but I do expect that they will be sold at some time at some point in 2024. All right, there's my update for the day. We will see you on the next one.